This video is going to show you how to replace the camshaft actuator on a C300 2008 model. We're going to start with lifting this cover here. And the camshaft actuator, there's actually four of them. They're located here. So here's one, there's one further down there, and then there's obviously two on the driver's side bank. So the message that I got, or the error code that I got, was that the bank one, which is the passenger side of the vehicle, intake camshaft position is outside of the expected range. So there are a few things that can cause this. And just to name a few, you could have a bad camshaft position sensor, which would be this one here for the intake side. There's another one further down there, and of course the mirror image on the other side. Or you could have a bad actuator, or you could have a problem with the camshaft itself, and there's a little, the metal piece that is that the camshaft position sensor is reading off of. So those are just to name a few. But the way you could test the camshaft position sensors, you could replace them. Uninstall it, install it at a different location, and then see if the problem moves from one bank to the other bank, or from intake to exhaust camshaft. So anyway, what we're going to be focusing on here is replacing this actuator here, and I will try and do this without taking too much apart. In other words, there's this thing in the way here, but I'll try and just uninstall it without having to remove this piece. So let's see how we succeed with that. So we're going to start with removing the the connector from the actuator. You just lift this piece up, and then you just pull off the connector. You squeeze in the back. There you go. And it comes off. And if you kind of look closely here, this is where the connector kind of latches onto the part when you squeeze this piece. See here, is that will free up the connector from holding on over here. So that's the first piece. Next, we're gonna be removing those bolts here. So we're using this socket here, which is an E8, and so we're gonna start here. Try not to drop the bolts. So this is what they look like. Okay. And I have the extension that I'm using looks like this at the end, so it allows me a little bit of a play, so it kind of helps me with the angles that I got here. So let's get this one going. It's bolt number 2. There we go. So here's the second one. And so the last one is located here, down here. So I have a little bit of a weird angle here. So what I'm going to do is basically I'm going to use a little trick here. So if you look at the, this is a 1/4 inch wrench here that is at an angle. So I'm going to just, it fits, you know, just perfectly over this, as you can see. So I'm going to just use that to loosen up that bolt, and then I'm going to get it out. So just have to loosen it up, and then I can untie it with my, unscrew it with my hand. So this is how it's coming out, just to kind of give you an idea. There you go, so here's the bolt. There you go, do not drop it. And now all we do is, this is just pushed in, there's a little kind of rubber seal around it. We just have to get the old actuator out and then put the new one in. See if we can, there you go. I just gotta see if I got enough space to get it out and get the new one in. Okay, so here's the actuator. I got one hose here that's in the way. There you go, so that's what it looks like. So 272.051.0077, and I think this one is being replaced by 272.051.0177, but we'll double check that in a second. So that's the updated part number, and it's from a donor vehicle. So 272.051.0177. Now we just do the reverse of what we just did. So we'll see, this is that rubber seal that I was mentioning here. Can put a little bit of oil around it to make it easier to push in. Here we go. So let's go in here. Let's not, you know, pick up the dirt. Wish this hose would not be exactly here, but there we go. Okay. There we go. Okay. So we've got it in position. There you go. And we'll just bolt it back in. Let's see if we can get this one started by hand, because there's a little bit less space here. Right, so all of them are in. We're going to just tighten the bolts now. Remember, those are, do not, you know, you're going into the aluminum block here, so do not, you know, over tighten. So think of kind of like, you know, 5 to 8 Newton meters type of a torque here. Here's the second one. And then the last one we'll just tighten with, you know, with our little trick that we did. There you go. So that should, let's try one more time. Yeah, definitely enough here. So, and then, you know, the last piece we're going to just do is, you know, reattach that connector. Push it on until you hear the click, and then you know, push down this piece here till it clicks. There you go. And that completes the job. So, you know, then basically, you know, the next thing we're gonna do is start the vehicle, and, you know, as we drive it around a little bit, we'll clear the code and see if the problem comes back or not. So hopefully this video was helpful. Thank you for watching, and see you at one of the next videos.